Anita Earls grew up in a mixed-race family in the 1960s, which directly impacted the work she does now.
Early on, I saw the challenges that my dad faced at his work. He was a urological technician. There were white urological technicians who were earning more than him, and there was no explanation. And it really challenged him. I thought that if I became a lawyer, I could try to, help other people who are facing discrimination on the job.
Dedicated to civil rights work, she decided to work at Ferguson Stein Law Firm in Charlotte after graduating from Yale Law School. The law firm was founded by Julius Chambers, becoming the first integrated law firm in North Carolina.
It seemed to me that the person with who had done the most to advance civil rights law was Julius Chambers. He struck me as a really brilliant thinker who had used his intelligence to come up with ways that the law should be expanded to create greater opportunities.
In this small private law firm, Anita Earls litigated the whole gamut of civil rights cases, ranging from voting rights, employment discrimination, housing discrimination, police misconduct, and public accommodations. After 10 years, Anita Earls was appointed to be the Deputy Assistant Attorney General in the Civil Rights Division at the Department of Justice. Afterwards, she worked at the Lawyers Committee for Civil Rights under law. With such a career trajectory, Anita Earls could be litigating for a high-paying top law firm. Instead, she ultimately decided to return to North Carolina.
I really felt that I could be a better lawyer and ultimately obtain better outcomes if I was closer to my clients. I really didn't like flying in for meetings and flying home, and flying down for court hearings and flying back. I really didn't like the way in which I was not a part of the community that I was working with.
In each of the settings Anita Earls found herself in, she did not feel she had all the resources her clients needed. As a general counsel for community-based organizations, she wanted to bring her clients all the different skills and resources needed to succeed.
What I think some of the core things that groups need are, in addition to legal advice and the capacity to access the legal system, they also need good research, social science research. They know what's happening to them, but documenting it is often very, very important. They need community organizing support skills. How do you sustain a community organizing effort over time? And then they need to be able to use the media. I just felt these constraints that were keeping me from being able to do what I felt needed to be done, most importantly for my clients.
As a result, she founded the Southern Coalition for Social Justice in 2007, a nonprofit that works with communities of color and economically disadvantaged communities in the South to defend and advance their political, social, and economic rights.
I think what I've seen have the most impact is when I'm working with an organized community group and they're able to see that they have a power to impact their conditions. And I think what's most gratifying is to see a group start with one issue, achieve a victory, sort of get what they wanted, and then move to the next issue that seems important to them, and sort of to keep on advocating for their communities.
All I can say is it is wonderful that you're here today. Keep up every possible pressure and every possible point, and I do believe ultimately you'll succeed because you were right.
That to me is a real success because it's structural, right? We're not just solving one person's problem, we're changing structures that create greater equality.
In 2006, Anita Earls lost her brother to a violent crime. When she went to the prosecutor to try and get the defendant prosecuted, he refused. Part of his argument was that no juror was going to convict a white woman of murdering a black man in rural Washington state.
What that meant to me was that all of my efforts, all my work, whatever impact I might be having in the community, I couldn't help my family. I couldn't bring justice. I had spent, I'd gone to law school and had all these notions that I was advancing justice and improving justice in the world, and I couldn't bring justice for my family. What I've realized is that I am a part of those communities, and I do have a life experience that still is worth me trying to achieve some measure of justice, even if the failures seem more overwhelming than the successes sometimes. I think our role is to make it possible for these legal battles to be fought. Even if we lose the case, we've advanced the cause for civil rights and for social justice, and we've helped the community stay mobilized. We've at least given a voice to people who otherwise would be silenced. But there'll be another battle 10 years from now, and if we keep fighting, we'll get to a point where we'll have some victories.